Bobby from Buff here with the episode 1 of what I'm hoping will be a series, a podcast series. I think we're calling it Nerds from Buffalo. In the car, so we're doing like a little mini podcast for this first episode. I'm here with Scott Enser. Ladies and gentlemen, Scott Enser. And we are driving right now to Florida. We're driving Scott's parents' van to Florida for them, so they don't have to. So they can fly down and just
relax.
Glamorous, like in the lap of luxury. Just fly down, vehicle already waiting for them there. Maybe we'll wash it, I don't know. No, definitely not. Okay. I said I was going to do a podcast called Nerds from Buffalo, and the idea is that I'm a nerd, and I do some stuff with some other nerds, and I also like the phrase, the term nerd. I think of it as a term of endearment for people that I really like. So, Scott, we're here to talk about you. You're the first guest on this first ever podcast. What do you think about that?
I'm privileged. I'm moved, actually.
It's really something. Someday when we look back at this, we'll say, wow, that was that first...
It was really crappy.
That was really something. Anyway, so I told Scott I would ask him about his... okay. I'll start off by saying this. I love music, but I am not musical at all. I'm terrible. I can't play any instruments. I'm a wedding DJ, but that's about it. I can't do anything cool on a turntable. No mixing, no nothing.
You're basically of no talent.
Yeah, basically. But Scott here is a drummer, and he was in a band. What was the name of your band?
Several bands.
Okay, so go back to the beginning.
All right.
What was the first band you're in?
1988, Circus.
Circus. Okay.
Then we ran into another band named Circus, and we were much better looking than them.
You had to fight them to the death?
So we had a death match fight.
And they won? They got the name?
We just gave the name. No, we gave the name to them. We weren't even going to worry about it.
Okay.
So then we changed our name for 1 week to Axis Sally.
Oh. How do you spell that?
Read your history books.
How do you spell that?
I have no idea.
Oh, you don't know how to spell the name of your band?
It's Axis Sally, just like Tokyo Rose for Japan. Oh. Axis Sally was for the Germans. Give up the war, America.
Gotcha. Okay.
But being that our guitarist was Jewish, and he's the one that actually came up with the name, he didn't think his family and relatives would appreciate. So we immediately looked for something else. So we went right, like what anybody would do, go right to the Bible.
The Bible, yeah, of course. Where else would you go?
And we came across something that was like sort of rock and rollish, and like dirty. So we named ourselves Jezebel.
Jezebel.
Jezebel was in the Bible. She was a woman who, as far as I know, well, I was told, that's where you get the term you're a Jezebel. You're basically a whore. So,
okay.
Yeah, we were whores. So the name stuck. We kept Jezebel until.
And where did you live at the time when you did all this stuff?
Now, when I mention this, do I have to drink?
Okay, so that's an inside joke. Scott lived in Florida for many years, which he's going to tell you about right now. And because of that, a lot of his stories mention Florida. And it happened so often that we were made a joke about it, that every time he says Florida, he has to drink. So, anyway, so that's
that explains why I'm drunk right now driving.
Yeah, he keeps talking about Florida.
Drink. I gotta drink again. Too.
No, so if that's the joke. But anyways, I won't keep interrupting you with that. They get it. It's funny.
Right. So what happened now?
I said, where did you live at the time of all of this? When you were in the first band in
South Florida. I lived in Boca Raton, Florida.
Okay.
It was really rough living in Boca Raton, Florida.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And we
the mean streets of Boca.
We played all South Florida. We played up in the Panhandle, up in the Georgia, Alabama, and some nights were really good, some nights were really bad. Meaning you could end up playing in front of 300 people, or sometimes you could end up playing in front of 12 people. But that's every band. No matter how popular, how famous you are, no matter where you go in the country, you're
It's true. Now, when you were in Jezebel, you played what instrument?
Drums.
The drums. Did you do vocals too, or just drums?
In circus? Oh,
No, for Jezebel.
Oh, both bands? Yeah, I sang.
You sang?
I drummed and did backups.
So you were like, yeah, okay. So
Never,
not the lead singer, but backup vocals.
Never lead, just backup.
Okay. That's cool. That sounds hard to me. It sounds impossible, actually, but that's because I can't I can't drum or sing. So
doing backups is easy. Doing the lead vocals and drumming can be complicated until you get used to it.
Okay. What's the most famous place where you perform?
The Button South.
The Button South?
The Button South.
Okay.
That was in Fort Lauderdale. Or actually, it's probably Holland. It wasn't Hollandale. It's been so many years I forget exactly. But the Button South.
Okay.
Yeah,
so was it like a rock club or like a...
Major acts would play there.
Oh, okay. They had a big stage.
Large stage.
Okay. How many people did you get for that one? What'd you say?
Well, that particular club, you would already have people going to be there anyway, so it would be 400 people.
Wow. That's cool.
Then we played...
How many songs did you play that night?
We would do concerts.
Full concert?
So it's
originals?
About an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes.
All original?
Right.
So like, what's that, like 12 songs?
12, 13 songs.
Okay.
You're booked with 2 other bands, and the luck of the draw, you get like the midnight hour to play.
Oh, okay.
You don't want to play like at 9 or 10. You want to play like at midnight, 1 o'clock. That's when the place is packed.
Gotcha.
And then another famous place was Washington Square in South Beach.
Okay.
It was always hard to get in there. Some people would actually pay to get into Washington Square or Button South to actually play.
What's like a cool band that you performed with? Like, not on stage with, but like they were on the same billing as you or whatever. They're like your favorite band that you guys ran into.
Oh, oddly enough, it was. We played with, at the time they were big on MTV and all that. We played same nights with Saigon Kick.
Saigon Kick.
Saigon Kick. They were from Fort Lauderdale also.
Was that rock or?
They were rock.
Rock, yeah. And you guys were mostly like rock. Would you consider yourself like a hair band or?
We were a hair band in the beginning, then we sort of drifted out of that and was going back right to the regular roots of rock. We also played the same nights with, at the time, Marilyn Manson and the Spooky Kids.
Oh, really?
Then their management was told by the record company to get rid of the Spooky Kids and just be called Marilyn Manson.
Huh.
So that was
interesting.
That was in the early days. Like I've actually would have conversations with Marilyn Manson.
Really?
Yeah.
What is he like?
He's at the time it was a complete act.
Of course, it's still an act. I mean,
but he dwarfed into like Alice Cooper had drifted into, where you actually live in the character.
Oh, yeah.
And there's not much differential.
That's kind of interesting.
But then Alice Cooper finally got away from that. He found himself back as his real personality.
Right.
And only Alice shows up on stage. Who knows what...
Like in Wayne's World when he's like talking about Milwaukee and all that. Yeah.
But Marilyn Manson, he's basically a geek.
I'm sure.
Total geek. But that's what rock does. That's what being in a band does for you. It takes you from being a geek to being, sought out and wanted.
Are you hearing this, kids?
Yes. Get in a band.
Quit school and join a band immediately.
Get in a band, man. That's the way to go.
Well, the gimbal is not happy with that last move that I just did. There we go. Okay. Let's see. What else can we talk about? So you lived in Florida. You were in a band. You guys perform how often?
Probably, I'm going to say 3-4 times a month.
3?
3 to 4 times a month. And then we were up in Gainesville, Tampa, Orlando for recording sessions, and we played at clubs up there in Orlando, Tampa, Panhandle, Panama City. We sometimes get up into Georgia.
Now, give me the timeline for your life. This was how old were you at this point?
22 to 21. I think it was about 21 when I got in the band.
Okay.
And I got out when I was 27.
Okay. And then how old were you when we were talking about this? Been talking about this earlier. We were driving. We were talking about how Scott lived in Florida and he's been a hockey fan. He's originally from Buffalo, and they when the Florida Panthers came to Florida, he was like an original season ticket holder. So tell me, how old were you then when they came to Florida?
27.
You were 20. So 27. You stopped doing the music thing basically for the most part, and then that's right when the Florida Panthers came.
Right.
So you like had like a new thing to pick up on.
Oh, totally.
So he had season tickets. He was like one of the first season ticket holders for the Florida Panthers.
Right. And there's nothing like sitting in a hockey arena in Florida with the majority of the people not knowing what hockey's all about.
I'm sure it's fun actually.
Well, it's a pain in the ass.
Well, but you get to be the expert though.
Well, you're the expert, but then you have to listen to people yell shoot when the puck is at the other end. When it's not even your net. You know?
Gotcha.
So
yeah, that would be annoying. Okay, so you said your season tickets were in the first
row balcony,
of the
center ice.
And you were right near
right next to the press box.
Okay,
so I got to meet every.
Okay, well he'll tell you. I was just gonna intro that part.
I got to meet every retired hockey player that I grew up watching and idolizing, because they were all assistant coaches or in the booth calling the game for their radio station from their city. Have nice conversations with them, talk about my childhood and how they ruined my Stanley Cup years with the Buffalo Sabres. Sometimes even get a chance to go out after the games and have beers with them.
So who was one of the guys?
Let's see, Dennis Potvin.
Dennis Potvin.
Hockey Hall of Famer.
So if you're a fan of hockey, and you probably have, you might know who Dennis Potvin was. He was mostly with the Islanders, right? For most of his
whole career with the Islanders. Hockey Hall of Famer. One of the highest scoring defensemen ever to play the game.
And he is hated by Rangers fans. Hated. I was telling Scott, I went to a game at MSG and in New York City, and at MSG they actually do a chant where this guy gets up in the middle of the lower section and he stands up and he whistles. He goes, and the whole crowd screams, "Potvin sucks!" Like, that's how much they hate this guy. So, anyways,
that's even when he's not there.
Yeah,
because they hate him.
Yeah, and then that's when the Sabres are playing. It's not even the Islanders playing the Rangers. It's the Sabres versus the Rangers, which doesn't even make any sense. But the fans just hate them that much; they have to do it every game, no matter what. So, anyway, so Dennis Potvin, you're talking to him. Tell me more stories about season tickets with the Panthers.
The season ticket holder, we didn't have a hockey team. We got awarded the team. So immediately I signed up for seats. Got my first request for the seats. Then there was the uniform unveiling. So you got to see for the first time your team colors, your team logo. That was exciting. It was a champagne brunch right at the arena down on the ice. And all the media was there. Media from Canada, anything to do with NHL, they were all there to see this grand opening of the team. And then the very first game was against the Pittsburgh Penguins, and Mario Lemieux played in that game against us.
Really?
Yeah, it was
okay.
And it was just exciting seeing hockey finally come.
How old was Lemieux? Like, had he been around for a little bit at that point?
Yeah, he was probably right. It was probably the year or two before he actually retired the first time.
Okay.
Then he came back like 4 or 5 years later.
Yeah, that was crazy.
But matter of fact, each team, when Lemieux came through on his retirement year, every team gave him a gift.
Oh, really?
And the Florida Panthers presented him at center ice a bag of golf clubs, a set of pings.
Oh, really?
For his retirement.
Oh, that's cool.
He didn't use long because he came back a few years later.
Well, he had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, I think, right? Or something?
A couple years earlier.
Yeah. He was dealing with some medical issues.
Yeah, he fought cancer.
Right through, like, the peak of his career, even.
And he beat it.
Yeah.
So
crazy. That's cool. cool.
So
and then, tell me the story. Okay, so tell them the story about, earlier we were mentioning, like, road trips and stuff. And Scott tells me, we went to Montreal for 24 hours from South Florida. Tell me that, a little bit about that.
We were all drinking in a bar one night watching the Panthers on the road the first season, and we said to ourselves, well, we should go on a road trip. Let's do a road trip. All right, so in January we're going to go on a road trip. Where should we go? Let's go to Montreal Forum. They're closing the Forum soon. Let's go to the Forum and experience the Forum. So it ends up, through scheduling and everything, that we're going to do a 24-hour trip. Fly up early in the morning, get to our hotel, eat, drink, have a great time, then head to the Forum, see the hockey game, which we did. It was awesome. We didn't buy one beer when we were in the stadium because everybody thought we were nuts coming from Florida.
Speaking of the stadium, so you bought the standing room only.
Standing room only was 17 rows up from the ice.
How much did you spend on those? Do you remember?
I think it was like $15 maybe.
Which was probably a good amount for not getting a seat.
For not getting a seat.
That's a bit of money. But
this is 1990.
That old Forum, the old Forum, they even had, I remember like up until like maybe 10 years ago, where the penalty box, I don't know, it was the bench where the players sit.
No glass.
There's no glass. Behind the player bench, like the glass goes all the way around a hockey rink. And now, all modern hockey rinks, the glass goes 100% all the way around. There's a net that goes up on both ends of the rink from the goal line back. So the center part of the ice is a clear view. Well, these fans, I think they had petitioned or like fought for it, and they were allowed to have no glass. They might have had to all sign waivers. It was all season ticket holders sitting in the first several rows behind the player bench, and glass. They didn't want anything separating them from the game.
And that was in Montreal and Toronto.
That's crazy.
And in Toronto, you could come down your seats, walk through the bench area behind the players and between the coaches, and go to your seat.
I mean, not during the game.
During the game. Yeah,
no, not during
people
play.
People be going all the time.
Not during play.
No, when they blow. I'm saying when they blow the whistle.
Yeah.
What kind of birds are these?
Oh boy, those are European starlings.
No, during like the TV timeout and stuff, people would just walk through the bench and go to their seats.
Yeah.
But then, another interesting fact about hockey: Boston Bruins and the old Boston Gardens. Their bench was on the side of the penalty box, and the other team was across the ice from the penalty box.
What?
Yeah. So when the penalty ended, the guy would just jump off the ice one step and get on his bench, and they could do a quick change. It was that way until they closed the Boston Gardens.
Really?
Or at least I assume it was to the end.
I never knew that. I know there's those rinks where like the goalie can't sit on the bench.
No, I've sat next to goaltenders.
The backup goalie had to sit like in the corner and stuff.
In Hartford, I sat next to the goaltender.
That's kind of, I actually like that. That's cool.
It was our goaltender though for the Panthers.
Oh really?
Yeah, I kept offering him beers. He wouldn't drink them.
What a dick.
Yeah. But we're getting way off. But anyways, yeah. So the Montreal trip was a lot of fun. We swam outside. It was 25 below zero, and we swam outside on top of the hotel. Everything froze. Your hair, your
brows, lashes.
Eyebrows. Yeah, it was pretty cool. But we were drinking so much on that trip that nothing really mattered.
Gotcha.
Then I got to visit the Chez Paris strip joint up in Montreal where all the hockey players go.
Oh.
Yeah.
Classy.
Yeah, I bought Dennis Potvin to dance. It lasted.
Oh yeah,
because
he was there with the broadcast crew, so he was hanging out. Okay,
yeah, he was there.
Gotcha.
And I gave him a dance, but it was like 5 dances. He thought it was over after the first one because it kept on going. Same girl.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And now she's Mrs. Potvin. No, I have no idea. I'm just kidding.
No, but at one point I thought Dennis might have been a doctor because the way he was examining her.
All right, we got to keep it PG-13. What else? Let's see. Did you ever go to any other away games?
Whose?
Like football, hockey, anything?
Hockey away games up in Tampa.
Where'd you go to Tampa? I've never been there.
Nice stadium. Stadium was good. The people are cool up there too because they're Florida. They didn't have a hockey team and they got one.
Oh, that's a good vibe, probably.
They related to the Panther fans.
Yeah.
And every year we played for there was a made-up trophy, the Suncoast Trophy or something.
Oh.
And whoever won that game between Tampa and
So, I guess, should we wrap this up? Is that it for episode 1?
Well, it's pretty hard talking when you're driving at 85 miles an hour on the road.
Well, I mean, I'm doing all the important talking.
Yeah, we could sign off for a while.
All right. Okay, so this is episode 1 of Nerds from Buffalo. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do tons of stuff with cosplay, with tutorials, how-to videos. I do reviews of hotel rooms. I'm a flight attendant, so I travel. So, I don't know. That's about all I have to say. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.